Begin our walk through the eco-forest, a place that was once bare, now reborn. Every tree here tells a story of renewal. Mountain ash reaching for the sky, young blackwoods filling the light gaps, and tree ferns unfurling new fronds after winter's chill. The scent of eucalyptus is strong in the air, mixed with wet soil and wattle bloom. The track winds gently uphill, sunlight flickering like gold through the canopy. You can almost feel the forest breathing, calm, steady, eternal. The eco-forest is a living classroom, a lesson in patience and time. It was planted after the fires to show how ecosystems recover, how the land heals when given space. Beneath the gums, a green understory thrives, moss, fungi, and tiny orchids hidden in the leaf litter. Birdsong threads through the silence, currawongs, thornbills and rosellas, painting colour and sound. Every note feels like a blessing, echoing through the tall trunks that stretch toward the Macedon sky. The Macedon Ranges carry a long memory. Walk far enough beneath mountain ash and blackwood and you feel it. Stories seeded in the soil, carried on wind, held in water. Some are gentle, some are edged with heat. On the 16th of February 1983, the day we now call Ash Wednesday, hot northerlies tore across Victoria and South Australia after months of drought. In a handful of hours, hundreds of fires stitched themselves into firestorms. 75 people died, 47 in Victoria, 28 in South Australia, and thousands were injured, with whole townships changed forever. Here on Mount Macedon, the flames ran fast up these slopes, driven by a violent evening wind change that turned flanks into fronts in minutes. Locals still speak of that wind, the sudden roar, the sky-like rust, the ember rain. Across the ranges, families sheltered where they could, some at the Macedon Hotel, which became a refuge as the fire passed. In the weeks and years that followed, residents wrote down what they'd seen and lost. Their memories fill community collections today, a chorus of voices from Balungarook, Gisborne, Macedon and Mount Macedon. There's a detail fire crews remember about this mountain. A burn on the 1st of February 1983, 2 weeks before Ash Wednesday, left a swathe of already blackened ground that later interrupted the deadly East Trentham Run as it charged toward the ridge. Even amid catastrophe, that earlier scar slowed the monster just enough to matter. Fire history here is written in these contingencies. Weather, chance, country already burned. But Ash Wednesday wasn't the first time heat wrote itself across this landscape. In 1851, on a day settlers would call Black Thursday, Victoria burned from the Plenty Ranges through the Dandenongs and Mount Macedon to the west.
Enough, is it?
Heat drove the mercury past the limits of memory. Smoke reached ships at sea. The ranges were described as one sheet of flame. 12 people died, more than 1 million sheep were lost, and perhaps a quarter of the colony burned. The newspapers of the day even suggested banning smoking on the Sydney Road to prevent new ignitions. Different century, same lesson. When drought, heat and winds align, fire moves like thought. Between these chapters of fire, the mountain remakes itself. The ecotourism trail you're walking now exists because people chose to listen to country, to show how forests recover, to let moss find old logs again, to teach patience. Around the bend, the path nods to older human stories too. This is Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung, Dja Dja Wurrung and Tongarung country, part of the Kulin Nation. The mountain is known as Gibor or Gibur in Woi-wurrung, and nearby stone from Mount William once travelled widely as prized axe head material. Trade and culture mapped in greenstone and song. Look up at the skyline and you'll see another story set in stone. Camel's Hump, the highest point of the range at 1,011 metres, is a mamelon, a plug of thick, sticky lava squeezed up through a narrow vent about 6 million years ago. The hard core resisted erosion, leaving the steep-sided knob we climb today. Hanging Rock shares the same volcanic lineage. Geology sets the stage, weather writes the script. Even the quiet water ahead holds a human plan. Sanatorium Lake is not ancient. It was built to supply water for a proposed mountaintop sanatorium, a place where cool air and stillness were thought to heal tuberculosis patients. The grand vision never fully arrived, but the lake remained, a mirror for clouds and trees, a place where people still come for breath and recovery. In a way, the land kept the part that mattered, the healing. And then there are the storms, the kind that don't flame but fell. In June 2021, a winter blast lashed the ranges. Gusts over 100 kilometres an hour toppled giants, closed roads and cut power for days. SES logged over 1,000 local requests for help here and 9,200 across Victoria. One of the busiest weeks on record. Walk the tracks and you can still read that night in the torn crowns and nurse logs. New nurseries for fungi, ferns and saplings. Fire is one teacher, wind is another. Both are part of how this forest breathes. So when you step softly in spring, you're not just moving through pretty light, you're walking a ledger of heat and rain, loss and renewal. Every fern that curls open after frost, every dragonfly skimming the lake is a quiet rebuttal to catastrophe. Country remembers, country recovers, and in that long rhythm, we find our place. To listen,
on the other side, Tanya.
to care, to be small and grateful beneath tall trees.
You're ruining my shot.
Có gì không có gì làm đấy đó.
We crossed from the eco-forest into an older grove, untouched stands of mountain ash and peppermint gum. The air cools and grows still. Beams of light slice through the canopy, landing on the forest floor like spotlights on ancient earth. The ground is soft underfoot, spongy with decades of leaf fall. Each step is muffled, as if the forest prefers whispers to conversation. Every now and then, a gust of wind sets the crown swaying, and a sound like ocean surf rolls through the trees.
Would have been big.
Long before tourists came, people believed this mountain air could heal. In the early 1900s, a sanatorium was built nearby, a place where those weary from city life could rest and breathe again. The lake we're walking to was part of that dream, a space for reflection, peace and recovery. The forest itself remains the real medicine. You can feel it in the cool air, in the rhythm of your steps, in the quiet certainty that everything here is connected. Every drop of rain, every fallen branch, every seedling pushing toward the light.
Yeah, they're cool, aren't they? Look at that.
The track curves downward now. Fern gullies line the path, their fronds arching like gateways to another world. The scent changes, damper, more earthy, with hints of moss and spring water. Through the trees, the first glimmer of Sanatorium Lake appears. A patch of silver light between the trunks. The sound of frogs carries on the breeze, and the forest seems to hush itself, as if preparing to reveal something sacred. Then, suddenly, we emerge. The trees part, and the lake opens before us. Still, round, and utterly silent. Sanatorium Lake sits like a mirror cradled in green. The surface holds the sky, clouds drifting slowly across the water, reflections of trees bending in the ripples. Reeds sway gently at the edge, and dragonflies trace bright lines over the surface. It's a place that asks nothing of you but presence. Yen finds a wooden chair at the water's edge and sits quietly. The forest moves around her. Birds passing, wind shifting, water lapping softly. She closes her eyes, and for a moment, time stops.
Mama! Say the turtle.
This is the gift of the forest. Stillness. No screens, no noise, no hurry. Just the heartbeat of the earth. steady and unbroken. The meditation isn't about doing, it's about being, listening without expectation. Even the lake seems to breathe, small ripples expanding outward, fading into calm again. If you stay long enough, you start to notice how alive silence can be.
We can go further.
As the day warms, the light shifts. The surface of the lake shimmers gold, and a soft wind moves through the treetops. In spring, everything here begins again. The trees, the water, the people who come to walk and listen. Sanatorium Lake reminds us that nature heals not through effort, but through time and presence.
It's like the
And as we prepare
apartment
to
we had in
walk
Prague.
beside this still water, the forest gives its final blessing. Peace, patience, and a sense of belonging to something greater. The forest has its way of reminding us, slow down, listen and breathe. Every step here is a quiet conversation with Earth. If this walk touched something in you, share it. Give it a like, drop a comment, let us know your favourite moment along the path. You can also try the new hype button below. It's YouTube's way for you to boost videos you love and help more people discover them. And when you're ready, join us on our other channel, The Tree of Us, where this journey continues at the lake. Yananoi Cook, Pad Kimau and Pad Krapau from the back of the Shark, all electric, surrounded by spring and birdsong. It's a meal cooked with gratitude for the land that feeds us. So if you enjoyed walking with us today, come and share a meal with us next. Until then, keep walking gently Keep searching your heart.